Hey guys, it's Zach. Today I'm going to show you how to install a Minecraft Bukkit server using the Craft Bukkit software. You're going to need a couple of things. You'll need a computer with an active internet connection, and it's recommended you have at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. You will need a legal copy of Minecraft. There is a way to let players that have a cracked client of Minecraft log on to your server, but I'll maybe make a video on that later. And you're going to need a router. You would need a wireless router that supports port forwarding. Now, keep in mind that my router is very easy to find, but some routers may differ, and some routers may have different settings and different ways of finding the screens and such. I'm going to show you how I do it on my router. Now first, I'll show you where to download Craft Bukkit. You open up Google Chrome or any browser, and you go to dl.bukkit.org. Now, the recommended build is for 1.5.2, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to do the beta build for 1.6.2. You're going to download it, click Keep, and since I already have this downloaded, I'm just going to cancel this. So you go to dl.bukkit.org. Now, just a reminder, these are beta builds. These are not recommended builds. And they also have something called development builds if you go into alternate versions. The beta builds, they have been tested, but they have not been tested thoroughly. And they may have some minor bugs in them, so just keep in mind. But for the most part, these are safe. Now, let's go to your router and let's port forward. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Start, type in CMD, and once you're at CMD, type in IPCONFIG, IPconfig, all one word, and click Enter. Scroll up to your Ethernet adapter local area connection, and you're going to see something called default gateway, this number right here. Now take that number and you enter it up here, and mine is 192.168.1.1, and this should bring up your router's start screen. Now my router has a setting right here for port forwarding. It says port forwarding, port triggering. Other settings you might want to look for is obviously port forwarding, port triggering, services, anything that has to do with networking, basically services, port forwarding, port triggering, servers, stuff like that. Just mess around in it a little bit and you'll eventually find it. But what you want to do is you want to add a service. For the service name, it doesn't really matter. You just put Minecraft and do TCP/UDP. And then for the start port, Minecraft uses a default port of 25.565, and then the ending port is going to be 25.565. And what you're going to do is, let's just put in, for an example, well, first, go down here, click this little icon down here, or if you have a wireless network, go down here and click this, like Network and Sharing Center. And what we're going to do is we're going to set a static IP now. So you're going to go up here, you're going to click Local Area Connection, or you're going to go right here, and you're going to click Local Area Connection. Then you're going to click Local Area Connection Status. Let's click Properties. Note you must be logged in as an administrator to do this, or it will fail and you will not be able to log in. Okay. Scroll down. Double click on Internet Protocol version 4, or you can just click it and click Properties. Now yours is going to look like this right here. Now if you have a router like I do, it'll be fairly easy. I set mine to 192.168.1.1.150, and then your subnet mask will automatically be put in for you. You don't need to worry about this. And your default gateway, you're going to put this in exactly as what you found on the command prompt. So if you go up here to command prompt, and if you go up here, the default gateway right here, you basically copy that in. Well, you don't copy it in, you can just write it in, but you go 192.168.1.1, and then basically, if you're confused as to what IP address to put, basically, your default gateway, 192.168.1.1, well, basically, anything after the third number right here, you can put anything you want. So 192.168.125, 192.168.158, anything after that number. Just do not change that third number. So 192.168.1.150 is what I'm going to put. Again, you can do anything you like. And for the DNS servers, I just use Google. I use 8.8.8.8 and 8.8.4.4, and then click validate settings upon exit, and then click OK. And then it's going to bring that up, but don't worry, everything will be fine. And boom, you now set a static IP. And basically, you need to set a static IP because when your router forwards a port, it has to forward it to a specific IP address. And if your internal IP address, which is your private IP address, not your public IP, if your internal IP address on your computer keeps changing, the router will get confused and it won't know which computer to point it to. So basically, what you're going to do now is you're going to take that static IP that you just set and you're going to enter it into here. So I'm going to put 192.168.1.150, and then your starting port is 25.565. Your ending port is 25.565. Service name, you can name Minecraft or whatever you want. This doesn't really matter. And then your protocol has to be TCP/UDP. It can't be one or the other. Minecraft uses both protocols. Now, I'm not going to do this because, as you can see, I already have this forwarded. So that's how you do that. So we set our static IP, and we forwarded our ports on our router. Now, let's go back to the desktop or wherever you saved your Craft Bukkit build, your Craft Bukkit jar. I'm sorry, wherever you saved that. And I would suggest moving it to the desktop before you go any further. Now, go to right-click on your desktop, go to New Folder. For this tutorial, we'll name it Bukkit. Oops. Okay, we'll name it Bukkit 1. You can name it Bukkit. And then open that up, and then you'll drag this into here. Now, listen very carefully. Next, you're going to go to New, Text Document, and you're going to double-click this. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to your web browser and go to this website right here, wiki.bukkit.org/setting_up_a_server. And what you're basically going to do is you're going to copy this. You're going to copy this, right-click, copy. You're going to minimize it. You're going to go paste. And basically, this is basically telling the jar. This is basically a file telling the jar file to run and to start up the server. Now, I would suggest going with 1 to 2 gigs. This right here, 1024. This is the megabytes. There are 1024 megabytes in a gigabyte. So in order for 2 gigabytes, you're gonna have to do 2048 megabytes. And then jar. That you don't need to worry about all this stuff. Basically, this is what you need to copy and paste from that website I just showed you. Again, here's the website right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to do save as. Now, look very carefully here. You're going to, where it says save as type, click this drop down box, click all files. On the file name, do run.bat. This will not work if you do not save it as a bat file. Run.bat. Now you're going to exit out of this, and you can delete this text document, and we're going to just right click on this jar file and rename this to craftbucket.jar. Actually, you can just rename it to craft bucket, and then you click on run, and then mine didn't work, but I'll demonstrate for you because I'm already running a server right now. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to click run, and then it's going to populate this folder with a whole bunch of files, and then that's it, you're done. I'll probably make another video showing you guys how to configure everything else, but for now, that's it. Alright, take care guys. Bye-bye.